making this video right now and it's almost fucking 10 p.m. here where I live, and it's pretty freezing cold for at least the weather I'm used to. And there's so many better times to make this video, there's so many better environments to make this video, but I just had to get it off my mind. I feel hunger, like an incessant hunger, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. It's almost like a lion, not in the cringy way, like genuinely. I feel hungry for more, and I'll explain to you the backstory of this. I recently landed a role as an online appointment setter, right, for a big influencer. And this role has just made me fucking hungry because lots of it is commission based, and so it's just an addiction now. Like, I can't stop working. Like, I just finished taking my last call because my goal was to get $100 made today, and thankfully I hit it, but I was calling until 9 p.m. when I was supposed to stop at 6 p.m. But this is all just to say, have you seen the movie Scarface? There's two sides to Scarface, and I really relate to Scarface in this aspect of my life. Because on one end, Scarface is this guy who came from absolutely nothing and made it to everything. He became rich. He became just generationally rich and achieved all he ever wanted, right? Becoming a drug lord. And that's great. And a lot of people will say, yes, Scarface is the interpretation of how you can come from nothing, and with enough hunger, you can achieve everything. And you can go from zero to hero. And yeah, that's great. But the other side of Scarface that nobody likes to look at is the atrocity of what his ego and his hunger caused. You see, the same reason why he got up to here is the same reason why he came back down to here. And it was all his incessant hunger and ego. So you see, in the beginning of the movie, Scarface is a Cuban, illegal, coming from Cuba, a communist country where he basically has nothing. And long story short, he ends up making some good moves and sets himself up in a good position through lots of doing whatever it took. He sets himself up to have lots of money and become a kingpin in the drug industry. And then he gets a bit in over his head, and that ego and continuous hunger of wanting more and more and more power and more money, that causes him to end up losing his life and every single thing he loves. And then I think to myself, is that the second side of my story? How far will I go with this hunger? Because you have to understand, these dark parts of yourself, this hunger, this ego, this need for power and domination, they can be either the biggest blessing of your life, or the worst curse. And it all depends on how you use it. It all depends on if you reject it or if you understand it and are willing to confront it and use it for good. And that's something that I'm really trying to manage at the moment. And I don't know if it's happening to you as well, but this fucking hunger, man. Like, I just want to eat the world. I feel like the world is mine to conquer. And I don't want to stop. I really don't. I don't want to stop ever. And I just want to keep scaling heights. And it's almost to the point that I'm getting greedy, but I love it. And sure, I could say it's altruistic reasons, like to take care of my mom and to take care of my brother and, you know, to have a better life for my loved ones. And yeah, that's true. That's a big part of it. But let's be real. Let's be fucking real here. I want it for myself as well. I want that power. I want that recognition. And I want to conquer. And yeah, I mean, you can demonize this, and it has been demonized in the past, but this is also the biggest blessing, and it's also the common factor in every single successful person ever, this incessant hunger and obsession that they had. And I feel like if you don't have this, you'll never be anything above mediocre, because that's what sets you apart. You'll be a sheep instead of a lion. So I'm okay with this. I know it's gonna have its downsides, but I know that it's part of me. No matter how much I try to ignore it, or no matter how much I try to reject it, it's gonna come back up. And if I do try and reject it, it's gonna come back in ways that can be very detrimental to my life, the same way you saw in Scarface. So I'm gonna try my best to learn to use this hunger in the right ways. And the second part of this video is asking you why the fuck you don't have that hunger. I mean, seriously, where are you right now in life? Think about it. Is that truly all you want to amount to? You just want to be average? You have this blessing of life, which, by the way, is not a coincidence, and it's very statistically low for you to be here at this moment, and you're just going to trade it off for an average existence. Is that all you value yourself to be? Because honestly, quite frankly, you're selling yourself short. You are being fucking cheap on yourself. You're not giving you the respect you deserve. You're really not. Because if you did, you'd understand that you are worth more than anything, and that you need to achieve that worth. You need to achieve that value. You need to get somewhere in life, somewhere that people would only dream of being. And I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have had dreams of being above average, of being excellent, of not being mediocre. But a dream stays a dream until you build a bridge. And that bridge is only built with excessive amounts of hunger and obsession. And I don't care what goal you're trying to achieve. We all have different goals. And yours might not be money, yours might be something else. But I do know one thing for certain, and it's that if you do have a goal that is achieved by few and wanted by many, what that means is that there's more demand than there is supply, which means that that goal is very rare, which also means that it's extremely hard to achieve. And something extremely hard to achieve requires lots of action and lots of hunger, because there will be a ton of days where you don't want to do it. But those days are exactly the days that will separate you from the people that stay back. I want you to understand that. Those days are the biggest blessing, because those are the days that you can separate yourself from the rest. So why do you not have that hunger? Why are you living with this sense of peace, like everything's going to be okay? I mean, sure it is, but what is okay to you? Do you want to be just okay, or do you want to be amazing? And that's a question you really have to ask yourself, because greatness is meant for few. It's wanted by many, but it's meant for few. Because if it were meant for many, it wouldn't be greatness. So if that's not you, then that's okay. But this isn't for you. This is for the people that do want greatness. If you say you want it, back it up. Have that hunger.